Hi there, this is Donna from Donna's Creative Space. I am going live today, unannounced. I didn't tell anybody because I wasn't sure whether I was going to be able to do it today. But I can. So if you see a red box with the word live in that corner, you are watching me live. If you don't see the red live button, then you're just catching the replay, which is totally fine. And like I said, I didn't plan on doing this, and please bear with me because this is only my second Facebook Live, and I am challenging myself to do this more often. So one way I thought I'd do this is by doing a series. Every Friday I'm going to do a Friday Fun Fold card. So I hope you will try to catch me on Fridays. I'm going to try to do it anywhere between noon and 2. Once I figure out the schedule, I'll be able to tell you exactly what time I'll be here. And today's Fun Fold card that we're going to be doing is a card that is from my monthly card kit to go. I just mailed them out, so if you were part of my card kit, then hopefully you got them either yesterday or maybe today. But this is one of the cards, and I thought, well, this is a fun fold, so we're going to do this card. It's called a Z fold card because, as you can see, it's kind of a Z shape. So I'm going to turn you around, and like I said, this is new to me, so I'm going to turn you around so that you can see my desktop. And although I didn't tell you any of the directions for this card, I will give you the measurements and everything, and possibly I will be able to give you direction, a supply list ahead of time for next week. Okay, so I will just keep doing these Fun Fold cards every week, and I doubt I'll run out of Fun Fold. They might be, I'll just call it Fun Fold Fridays, and maybe we'll do a project. They won't always be cards. All right, so let me try turning you around, and hang on while I do this. Let's see, and hopefully I've gotten you in my view. All right, I think that's good. Oh, I think somebody's watching me. I see a little... Oops, okay, so this is the card, and like I said, it's a fun fold. So I wanted to share with you the measurements and the stamps I used for this. So I used this is the main set, the Forever Fern. This is what I did my monthly card class on, and that was for June. I'll have another one out at the beginning of July for next month. So I used this one, but I also used the Sentiment just because in this lovely U stamp set. So those are the two stamp sets. I also used this Stampin' Cut embossing folders called Greenery embossing folders. These are the new ones. It comes two in this particular pack comes two long skinny ones that will fit our new cutting machine, the mini, when it finally does come out. You can see it in the catalog now, but it won't be available for a couple months. So I'm using this one, but this one is just as pretty too. So I'm going to be using that. I've already done my embossing, but I'll show you how you do it. And what else? Now, if you have the dies, we'll be using the die set. This is called the Forever Flourishing dies, and I'm gonna fussy cut it with scissors today so that I can show you that in case you don't have the dies, you can still make this card. I also will be using some of our pearls, some glue dots. I will be using our white Whisper White crinkle ribbon and dimensionals. I think I said glue dots. I will be using Just Jade ink, and I have Just Jade cardstock and a few pieces from the Forever Fern Designer Series paper. I have a bone folder, scissors. I have a couple of blocks for my stamps. And I think that's just about it. Oh, I have adhesive. You'll need an adhesive runner. So I'm going to make these, and obviously if you're watching the replay, you will be able to pause the video when I explain the sizes of everything, and then you can make these on your own at some other time. Alright, so for the what you need is a card base, and this card base is 5.5 by 8.5. I scored it at right down the middle at 4 1/4. I also came in and scored it at 2 1/8. Now, if you have our paper trimmer, the scoring tool is the light gray one on this. Oh, I forgot I took mine off of here. But there's a darker gray and a light gray, so you can just line it up on the numbers and score. If you don't have a scoring tool, you can use a stylus. You could use the edge of your the edge of a ruler with a bone folder and just set it down and score along the edge. Okay, so 4 1/4 and 2 1/8. And we're going to fold those in half the first way, and then I am going to fold this piece back on the crease, and I'm just going to burnish it down with my bone folder. So now that creates my Z fold. And you can make a card just like this, but we're adding this little flap to it. But you can just leave a card just decorated this way also. So that I gave you the measurements for this. So now we need an inside piece. Now this piece here, I cut a strip. This is really pretty designer series paper. You'll need a strip that is 1 7/8 by 4 1/4, and then a 1/2 inch strip by, I'm sorry, I think I said 4 1/4. 1 7/8 by 5 1/4, 1/2 inch by 5 1/4. So this first piece we're going to put down on the side of the right side of the inside of this card. And what I'm doing is just leaving just about an 1/8 inch top, bottom, and the right side. Then you're going to take a piece of Whisper White. This is 3 3/8 by 5 1/4. And we're going to tape that down. And I'm using the new Stampin' Seal that has just come out, and it's really nice and smooth. I like that it doesn't make the noise like the snail. So when you put this piece in, you're going to center it between here and here and leave about the same amount of space. As you can see, there's about an 1/8 inch there, an 1/8 inch there. So once you get it in, you can press it down. So now our inside's done. Now I didn't put anything on my inside. You can go ahead and put something, you can stamp something on the inside if you like. I left mine plain. So now this piece is cut to go on this outside flap. So I'll just add a little bit of my new Stampin' Seal. I'm so used to saying snail. Now make sure your leaves are going in the right direction, and you can use any designer series paper to create this card. See, that would be your card right there. And you can always throw on, put something on here. Let's see if I have anything. Oh, this is an old stamp from a different set that's retired. But if you wanted to, you could take something like this, just tape it here, and you've just created a front for your Z-fold card. So we are going to create this portion here. So first, let's do a little bit of stamping while we set this card aside. And like I said, I'm using the new Just Jade ink. Now, if you're trying to order any of the new ink colors and it's saying they're on back order, they will be coming in shortly. Unfortunately, a lot of the products from Stampin' Up! Are made in manufacturing plants where either the manufacturing's running slow because of the whole COVID pandemic, or their manufacturing might be manufacturing other things for the pandemic. So let's see, you have, this is a piece of scrap white. It doesn't matter what size it is as long as it fits your punch. Okay. What fits your, I'm sorry, it fits your stamp. So this is 2.5 by 3.5, and I'm gonna ink up my stamp a few times on there, and I'm just gonna stamp straight down, just like that, and then put that to side, and we'll let that dry. And then we have this little piece of white. This is 3/4 by 1 3/4. And this is that just because from the Lovely You stamp set. And I'm going to stamp this up. Let me pull it closer to me. I hope I'm not out of the image area where you can see. But there we go. That is that. And I'm going to put that aside. Let's see, I'm just going to go back over here and see if anybody is, it says one person is watching. If you're there, say hello. Don't be shy. If you didn't catch the beginning of this, this is only my second Facebook Live, so I'm a little nervous. So please be aware, what is that? Bear with me, sorry. Okay. So my inking is done. So the next step would be I have gone ahead and embossed a piece of this beautiful Just Jade paper. This size piece would be 3 1/8 by 3 3/4. Then you take that piece and you put it between your embossing folder, and you run this through your Big Shot. And this is the, you crank it through, and the Big Shot presses it. We're going to be we have 2 new cutting and embossing machines coming out. So if you don't have a Big Shot, you might want to wait a little bit to buy ours, because they both look pretty portable, and I think they're going to be great machines. There's going to be a little one that fits these skinny ones, which these can also go in the big one. Okay, so we have our embossed piece. Now what I did was, because I didn't want the ribbon showing on the inside of this, I tied my ribbon. And let's see, I didn't give you a measurement on this ribbon. Let's see. Oh, I have it written down. 18 inches. So take a piece of this 18-inch crinkle ribbon, or whatever ribbon you're using. And, oops, sorry. You want to wrap it around. Now, like I said, I haven't really been doing Facebook Lives, so for all I know, my battery could die, or somebody might call. I don't know if I put it on any specific setting. So there, I have my ribbon on here. And if you ever have too loose of your ribbon, one of the things that you could do, this one's not bad. This one didn't really come out that loose, but take a piece of Scotch tape, and on the back where it's not going to see, you can just kind of gather it with your fingers like this, and don't let your tape show. Let me just trim that. But as you can see, I kind of pulled in a little bit of the ribbon so that way it'll be nice and tight like that. Okay, now this will go on another piece of Just Jade. This is, let's see, 3 1/4 by 3 7/8. 3 1/4 this way by 3 7/8 this way. So I am going to run my Stamp and Seal. Oh, this goes on so nice and smooth. We also have a Stamp and Seal Plus, and I'm only putting this on just so a little bit of the background peeks out. It's just an 1/8 of an inch bigger, so you'll only see a 1/16 all the way around. And that's exactly what I wanted. That way we don't see the ribbon on the back, and it gives this piece a little bit more stability. So like I was saying, this is the regular Stamp and Seal, but we also have a Stamp and Seal Plus now, and that's very similar to the Fast Fuse. So if you loved Fast Fuse like I did, then you'll want to get the Plus also. So now we'll go back to our card. So this is going to go on here. I am going to trim my ribbons right now so that they don't bother me. But this is going to go right about here. Okay? And we don't want to put adhesive on this complete back, because it will end up sticking our card close. So you kind of put it where you want it, you know, frame it side to side. And what I like to do is I'm saying, okay, say to myself, I picture it here and here, and I turn it upside down just like that, and I still have it centered, but now I know that I don't want my adhesive to go past that area. So I'm going to put some adhesive there, and I'm also going to put a little bit right in the center here, just for some added strength. And now I'm going to go like this, see where my adhesive is, so that I know when I flip it, it's not going to be on the other side. And I'm just going to touch the left side down, just a tiny bit of pressure, so I can turn it over and make sure that I don't see any adhesive showing, and I don't. So now I can press it down. You can even turn your card upside down, give it a nice press. So there is our little flip fold. Now back to our stamped image. Now if you have the dies, you can take this die, this is the one that goes with this, and you would put it on this, run it through your Big Shot with the correct plates, and it would cut it out. If you don't have a Big Shot, you can just cut it out yourself. You can fussy cut it. And what I like to do is leave a little bit of white all the way around the edge. And as I do this, I'm probably pulling the paper in my view rather than your view, because it's hard to do it in this angle. But I will try. Let's see, I have my lights. Let me get a little bit of light back on the table. And let's go like this and around the edge. And I leave a little bit of white, like I said. I think it gives you a little bit of forgiveness if you're not cutting exact. If you were to try to cut right on that inked line, then you might have a little bit of problems. It might show more often. Now I'm not going to go all the way down to the branch. I'm just going to kind of turn around in this spot and just keep going. And as you can see, for the most part, I'm turning my paper and the scissors. You know, I just take turns moving it around. And it's not a... This happens to be a fairly easy thing to cut out. Now if you happen to have arthritis or something, you know, painful, you know, to move your to use scissors like this, then you might want to invest in the dies. And if you don't want to invest in the dies, you can also just find an oval or a rectangle piece of, cut a rectangle and stamp your stamp right on the oval or rectangle, and then you can just put that on the front of your card. You don't have to fussy cut it or cut it out. Okay? So see, that was all fussy cut. So now for this one, I'm going to turn it upside down. I am going to put a few little dimensionals on here. I'm not going to do anything with the stem because that's going to stick underneath the ribbon. So I pull these off, and I'm going to put this right there, and I like to put it at an angle. Does that look cute? And then we're going to take the Just Because sentiment that we stamped, and I will put a few, I'm going to put 3 of them, and I'm going to stagger them. Just sometimes when you put 2 on a strip, it kind of wobbles this way and that way, so I put 3, kind of staggered them like so, and then we'll put this right over the stem, just like that, right? And then the last thing are a few pearls. These are our basic pearls. And I'm going to take a couple of these little ones, and I like to put 3 or odd numbers, and just put them on so you get your eye to dance around on the card. And there you have it. That's our Z-fold card. So I will put all the measurements down below after I finish this video. I will put all the measurements down below, and then you'll be able to make these on your own. And I'd love you to post yours on this page here and share with me that you made one. And I hope it's in different patterns because I'd love to see what you guys came up with. So let's see if I know how to end this video. And thank you for joining on my second Facebook Live. I will see you later, folks. Have a great day.